Hi, this is Wes Murray of Essentially Fit, and if you're over 40 and you are embarking on an exercise program and changing your lifestyle habits and eating habits, there's certain things that you want to be thinking about when embarking on this new journey in your life. One of the things that you need to be thinking about is you know, if you are over 40 and you are just getting started, things are a little bit different now than say when you were just coming out of college. There are a lot of things that you should be aware of, and there should also be some things that you may not even be thinking of that you can actually use to your advantage. Well, the first thing you want to do is if you are getting started is you want to find out where you are at right now. So many people embark on an exercise program thinking that they can just jump into it and like they could in the past. And there's certain changes in the body that can take place. With that being said, you should not let these changes in your body be a reason for putting limitations on yourself. Okay. One of the things that you want to be thinking about is your bones, your bone structure, your joints. As you get older, you lose flexibility in your joints, and there's certain things that you used to be able to do with no problem, like jumping and making high jumps and going from sitting to sprinting without warming up your muscles. Your body isn't as flexible as it used to be. Your bones is not as flexible as they used to be. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Start slowly when you're beginning and embarking on an exercise program. After a few weeks or a few months, you begin to notice that you can handle more of a challenge. And by challenge, I mean plyometrics, explosive type of training, then by all means do so, because because the older that you are, if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay, so the next thing you want to be you want to be aware of when you're getting started is that you may have muscle imbalances in your body that have been caused through repeated movement. Things such as sitting for long periods of time or doing things in a repetitive movement sort of way. For example, if you're a woman and you've been wearing high heels your entire life, you've been pretty much standing on your tippy toes when you walk, and your calves have always been in a contracted state. Well, what happens is if you do that for long enough, even when you're not wearing your high heel shoes, your calves could still be contracting, and that can have an impact on your knees, and with your knees can have an impact on your hips, with your hips can have an impact on your spine, and on your spine and back can have an impact on your shoulders and your neck. So it's all connected. So you want to make sure that when you're getting started, you want to find out where are your muscle imbalances that are happening. You may need to seek the help of a professional to find out. For instance, if you've been sitting for long, if you had a job that you've been sitting for long periods of time, you're almost guaranteed to have some imbalances in your hip area, which would have an impact on your posture, which will have an impact on your risk of injury for certain exercises. You won't know until you actually have an assessment and find out what imbalances that you have and where they are. And chances are you probably have it, because most of us do. Another thing you want to be taking a look at is, your habits. You're coming into this with many years of a way of being and a way of acting, and essentially you're taking on a new lifestyle. So you're going to be taking on new habits. You have, in order for you to bring in new habits, you will have to get rid of some bad habits, some old habits, and incorporate a new way of being. And for most people, that is probably the most challenging aspect of embarking on a physical, a new lifestyle change, is Not so much taking on the new things, but really giving up the old way of being, the old mentality. So you want to make sure that, for example, we've developed ways of eating that could be considered bad habits, or the quote unquote sweet tooth. Um, if you want to live a healthier life, or if fat loss, especially if fat loss is your goal, you're going to have to be vigilant as to the amount of sugar that you're taking, or sugar that you're eating, and carbohydrates that you're eating, in order to set your body up so that it burns fat in this most optimal way possible. So, and there are other habits, such as when you go to sleep. Think about the time how many hours do you devote to going to sleep? How many hours do you devote to certain activities that take you away from your goal, such as something as simple as watching TV? If you're the type of person who prefers to go home and sit down and watch the telly instead of going to the gym and putting in putting in an hour of exercise, well, that's something that you're going to have to take a look at. You have to take a look at your habits. Remember, this is not just a change in what you do, but it's also a change in how you think, and it's a change in how you view yourself. So when you are getting started and embarking on a new lifestyle change and exercise program, make sure you find out where you are at right now.